Hello everyone and welcome to this video going over the changes coming to us in the 4.2 patch. Most notably the newest killer, the Blight, a new survivor, Felix, and also several new offerings and some graphical updates. So I know everyone is dying to know what the new killer can do, but quickly before getting into that, make sure to subscribe for more Dead by Daylight news, guides, and gameplay, and leave a like if you enjoy the video. Now on to the Blight and what he can do. So his power is Blighted Corruption. He starts with 5 rush charges on his power, and has a power charge bar around the power icon. Pressing the active ability button will cause the Blight to rush forward for a few seconds and consumes 1 rush charge. In order to extend his rush, the Blight must run into a wall or object. Then he will be given the option to perform a lethal rush by pressing the active ability button. If he activates a lethal rush, then the Blight can perform an attack during the lethal rush. Now this attack does not count towards perks such as Save the Best for Last and will not down survivors affected by Exposed, so it is not considered a basic attack. However, it does deal 1 health state of damage. Multiple lethal rushes can be activated by continually running into walls or objects until you run out of rush charges. When a rush is ended, the Blight goes through a fatigue phase. This kind of works like the Nurse Blink fatigue, where you must perform a lethal rush quickly after hitting an object or wall, or else the Blight will become fatigued if you do not hit that button fast enough. Before the Blight can do another rush, he must wait for his power bar to restore completely, regardless of how many rush tokens he has. The Blight's 3 unique perks are Dragon's Grip, Hex Blood Favor, and Hex Undying. Dragon's Grip says after kicking a generator for the next 30 seconds, the first survivor that interacts with it will scream, revealing their location for 4 seconds and becoming afflicted with the Exposed status effect for 60 seconds. Dragon's Grip has a cooldown of 120, 100, or 80 seconds. Hex Blood Favor says when a survivor is hit, pallets within 16 meters of your location are held in place by the entity for 15 seconds. These pallets cannot be pulled down. Hex Blood Favor has a cooldown of 60, 50, or 40 seconds. And remember, the Hex effects persist as long as the related Hex totem is standing. And Hex Undying, which says while Hex Undying is active, survivors within 2 meters of any totem have their aura revealed for 4 seconds. When another Hex totem is cleansed, that Hex transfers to an available dual totem, losing any tokens in the process. Meaning, if you're running something like Hex Devour Hope and you have 3 tokens, but it gets destroyed and then transferred, all the tokens are reset, and you have to start your progress again from 0. I quickly want to mention that this perk will reveal survivor auras the second they are within 2 meters of any totem, Hex, or dual. It will activate regardless if the survivor actually cleanses the totem or not, so it is useful for knowing when survivors are getting near your totems. Now let's take a look at his add-ons. First up, we got the ultra rare Compound 33. When initiating a slam, reveal the aura of survivors within 16 meters of the collision location for 6 seconds. Awards 100 blood points in the deviousness category for each survivor revealed. Moderately increases rush speed for each consecutive rush. Iridescent Blight Tag. Upon using all rush tokens, your last lethal rush will put survivors into the dying state. Adrenaline Vial. Considerably increases the speed at which tokens regenerate, decreases the amount of available rush tokens by 1. Soul Chemical. Any survivor within 16 meters of a slam will suffer from the hindered status effect for 3 seconds. Summoning Stone. Hitting a survivor with a lethal rush will call upon the entity to block pallets within a 16-meter radius of your location for 12 seconds. Vigo's Journal. Gain the undetectable status effect while rushing. Alchemist Ring. Moderately increases the speed at which rush tokens regenerate. Compound 21. Slightly increases rush speed for each consecutive rush. Plague Bile. Borrowing some bile from the plague, I see, increases the amount of available rush tokens by 1. Rose Tonic. Considerably increases slam duration. Umbra Salts. considerably increases turn rate while rushing. Blighted Crow moderately increases slam duration. Blighted Rat moderately increases rush speed. Got a lot of dead animals here. Kinkerthorn moderately increases turn rate while rushing. Pustula Dust slightly increases the speed at which rush tokens regenerate. Shredded Notes moderately increases recovery speed after a rush. Chipped Monocle displays the target location of a slam, automatically face the nearest survivor after a slam. Compound 7 slightly increases the turn rate during a rush. Foxglove slightly increases rush speed. And finally, Placebo Tablet slightly increases recovery speed after a rush. And those are all of the Blight's add-ons. Let me know what you think of them in the comments below. Now let's look at the new survivor, which is Felix Richter, or Richter, however you say that. His 3 unique perks are Visionary, Desperate Measures, and Built to Last. Visionary says you see generator auras within 32 meters. Anytime a generator is completed, Visionary has a cooldown of 20, 18, or 16 seconds. Desperate Measures says for each injured, hooked, or dying survivor, increases the speed of your healing and unhook actions by 10, 12, or 14%. This includes yourself. And Built to Last says once per trial, a depleted item will refill 30, 40, or 50% of its charges after 10 seconds. It's important to know that with this perk, the 10-second timer will start immediately when your item depletes, so be cautious of that. And that covers everything about the new survivor. But remember how I mentioned there are new offerings earlier? Well, we have several new offerings coming in patch 4.2. So let's take a look at what they have in store for us. All of these offerings are for killers and survivors, by the way, so you can unlock them on anyone's blood web. First up, we have the Rare Sacrificial Ward offering, which says calls upon the entity to reject all offerings that alter the chance of being sent to a specific realm. This can only be cancelled if 4 identical realm offerings are played. So, basically an offering that negates map offerings. Moving on. The Common Annotated Blueprint will tremendously increase the chances of spawning the hatch in the Killer Shack if the map has a Killer Shack. The Common Bloodied Blueprint will reveal the aura of the basement hooks to you for 20 seconds at the start of the trial. Tremendously increases the chance of spawning the basement in the Killer Shack if the map has a Killer Shack. The Common Torn Blueprint reveals the aura of the basement hooks to you for 20 seconds at the start of the trial. Tremendously increases the chance of spawning the basement in the main building if the map has a main building. And finally, the Common Vigo's Blueprint tremendously increases the chances of spawning the hatch in the main building if the map has a main building. Again, all of these offerings can be found on killers and survivors. So, very interesting offerings that are adding more, options for you to control how maps are generated. Now, besides this, we have several graphical updates coming in 4.2 that are drastically changing how certain things look. Specifically, generators, pallets, lockers, and chests are all going to have updated models and look way different than they do currently. In addition to these new looks, there's also some new animations. Repairing a generator has several new animations to make it look more interactive for survivors, as well as chests have a unlock animation now instead of an open chest animation, and when a killer breaks a pallet, it looks completely different now. Besides these, there are several other graphical updates, such as Killer Shack looks a bit different now, and other maps have seen some fine-tuning, but I'm not going to go over all these little details, because it's not really that big of a deal. So that is everything that was shown to us in patch 4.2 that is coming to the game. We have some big changes coming, a new killer, a new survivor, 6 new perks, new offerings. So let me know what you guys think of these things in the comments below. Do you think the new perks are good? Are they bad? Is a new killer good? Is he bad? Is it viable at all? Let me know in the comments below. And remember to subscribe if you're not already for more Dead by Daylight news, gameplay, and guides. And like the video if you enjoyed it. If you want to support the channel even more, then consider becoming a member today. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, good luck out there in the fog, and see ya next time.